This video is going to cover number 6 from the College Algebra Final Exam Review. It asks us to find the quotient and write the answer in standard form. So I have 6 plus 2i divided by 4 minus 7i. Remember, standard form for complex numbers is a plus bi. Complex numbers just mean we have that real part a plus or minus our imaginary part, which is bi. So remember, I is the square root of -1. So if we have an I in the denominator, it really means we have a radical in the denominator, which we cannot have. So we need to get rid of that. In order to get rid of that I in the denominator, I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by the conjugate of the denominator. The conjugate of the denominator just means we're leaving everything the same. The only thing that's changing is this middle term. So I still have my 4, my negative changes to a positive, and then 7i. What do we do to the bottom? We're also going to have to do to the top. So we'll multiply the top and the bottom by 4 plus 7i. So we're going to distribute. 6 times 4 will give me 24. 6 times 7i will give me plus 42i. 2i times 4 is plus 8i. And then 2i times 7i will give me plus 14. I times I will give me I squared. Same thing for the bottom. So 4 times 4 will give us 16. 4 times 7i will give me plus 28i. Negative 7i times 4 will give me negative 28i. Last but not least, negative 7i times positive 7i will give me negative 49i squared. So combining like terms, on the top we have 24, plus we have 42i plus 8i. So combining those two will give me 50i. Plus 14i squared. Now up here we said that I was the square root of -1. So if I have I squared, it's going to be the square root of -1 squared. Square root and squared cancel each other out. So I squared is really just -1. So I really have 14 instead of I squared. I know I squared is -1. Same thing for the bottom. I have 16. My positive 28i minus 28i cancels each other out. We're left with minus 49. Again, we have times I squared, so we can rewrite that as saying times -1. So still simplifying, we have 24 plus 50i. 14 times -1 will give me -14. Same thing on the bottom, 16. Negative 49 times -1 will give me positive 49. Almost done. Again, combining like terms, 24 minus 14 will give me 10, and then plus my 50i. Divided by 16 plus 49 will give me 65. So I have all my like terms combined. Now, if you notice, this whole fraction is being divided by 65. So I can split this up and say, okay, 10 divided by 65 plus 50i divided by 65. Simplifying each fraction separately, 10 divided by 65 both have a 5 in common. Whenever I take out that 5 and simplify, I'm left with 2 divided by 13. Same thing, 50i divided by 65, they both have a 5 in common. So whenever I factor and cancel out that 5, I'm left with 10 over 13i. And that will be my final answer for number 6 on the College Algebra Final Exam Review.